Hello everybody. Yes, my hair is wet because I washed my hair this morning and it's very hot outside, so I do not want to use a hairdryer on my hair. So I'm wearing a top that says good vibes only because that's the mood I'm in at the moment. Good vibes. There's a lot of shit happening in the world at the moment and I want this channel to be a source of entertainment and escapism for people. To go on to a more light-hearted note, I've got two books for you today. It made sense to do these as two books because the same author, the same life. It's Julie Andrews. I got these for my birthday this year because I knew that there was a new one coming out, and so I said to my mum and dad, oh, I've heard that Julie Andrews has got a biography out. That would be really nice because in my family everybody knows get me a book for my birthday or Christmas, and you know, you won't see me for like 6 months because I'm just going to spend all the time reading. Home is the first one. It says on it, a memoir of my early years. Excuse me, I can't talk today. But yeah, so this one covers her from childhood. So you've got a lot of preamble at the beginning, talking about her great-grandparents, her parents, because it's really setting up for the story you're going to see going on. But yeah, so it starts off there. It covers her childhood, going on the road with her parents, her relationship with her parents, and her stepdad. There's a lot going on. There's stuff I didn't know about that I read about in this book, and I already thought I knew quite a lot about Julie Andrews because she's like my favourite actress. It's Julie Andrews and Caroline Quentin are like the top two for me. But yeah, there was so much that I didn't know, and it was so interesting to read about it, and it takes you through her days in London and her career on Broadway. I didn't realise how young she was when she started on Broadway. She was 18. She celebrated her 19th birthday on like opening night or something, because it covers her meeting her first husband, Tony Walton. So you see everything in the time leading up to her being cast in Mary Poppins while she was doing Camelot on Broadway, and it is such an interesting read. So if you are a big fan of biographies, especially Julie Andrews, it is so interesting to read. And also there's things that you don't think about when you think of Julie Andrews, and as I was reading it was just like, I never really thought about the fact that she grew up in the Blitz, and it is so interesting to read it from that point of view. So even if you're just a history buff, I think it would be really interesting to read this, because I was talking to my dad about some of the stuff that I was reading about, like her having a whistle that she blew for her neighbours when certain bombs came overhead, because she had acute hearing and she could hear everything. And there was one night when it was raining and she really just didn't want to go out in it, so she didn't. And then a bomb dropped and the neighbours came out to say, why didn't she blow the whistle? Why didn't she blow it? But she unofficially, that became her job, to listen out for these certain types of bombs and let the neighbours know when they were coming. But it's so interesting to read. So if you're a theatre nerd like me, you'll enjoy this. If you're just a Julie Andrews fan, you'll enjoy it. If you want to know a little bit about kind of growing up, like in the war and the Blitz and stuff, it's really interesting from that point of view. I don't think I realised how interested I was in that kind of history, because I was awful at history at school. I wasn't interested in it. My teacher didn't really make it exciting enough for me, I guess, for me to really be interested in it. I've definitely gotten more into history as I've gotten older. The way that she kind of name drops is just hilarious, I'll say that. I mean, even on the back it just talks about Walt Disney, Rex Harrison, her husband Tony Walton, who was a famed set and costume designer. He was already doing sets and costumes for theatre shows when he and Julie met Walt Disney, and he basically went to Tony and said, oh, so young man, what do you do? And he says, oh, well, I do sets and costumes and stuff. And so when they went to America, he was like, I'll just bring your portfolio with you, and hired him on the spot. And I just think that is such a cool story. But yeah, so that's the first one, that's Home. And then you've got Homework, a memoir of my Hollywood years, which she wrote with her daughter Emma Walton Hamilton. So that's her daughter with her first husband, Tony. And this covers kind of the, obviously, starting off with a little bit of kind of like a throwback to the first book, just in case you haven't read the first one, so you can read this as a standalone because she does give you kind of a rundown of what was in the first book before you go into it. And then it goes through her relationship with Walt Disney and, you know, filming Mary Poppins. This one's a good one for like movie buffs and people who are really interested in film trivia, because there's so much film trivia in this. I absolutely loved reading this. I definitely had different relationships with the different books. This one, it was more history based and theatre based, and you were looking at a lot of her childhood. This one was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which I really, really enjoyed reading about. It has a look at the breakdown with her relationship with her first husband. Then it goes into obviously her relationship with Blake Edwards. Blake Edwards, the famous director of like the Pink Panther movies and stuff. And this one ends in 1986. Future Debbie here. As I was editing, there was some sort of filter that ended up on the rest of the video that I couldn't get off. And it became a little bit blurry, the sound went a bit weird, and I just didn't know how to fix it. Admittedly, I'm still getting used to my new computer, so I've got a MacBook, used to have a PC, but yeah, so sorry about the quality of the rest of the video, and I have now got things in place to stop what happened happening again. Hopefully that'll work. I'll see you in a bit. Sorry, my battery died and I had to change cameras. Sorry, so I've got a different setup now. So this one finishes in 1986, just as she was going back onto Broadway with Victoria. It's a good sign that she's probably going to write another one, because there's a lot of stuff that happened after she was put on Broadway, because obviously this doesn't cover anything to do with the decline of her voice and her voice surgery and everything. So I think that would be really interesting to read about if she is planning on doing that as well. This one is for, to be fair, both of them are for Julie Andrews fans. If you're a Julie Andrews fan, you're going to enjoy both of them because you're getting a really good look into her life from birth to 1986 when she was back on Broadway with Victoria. The name dropping throughout both books is done in such a classy way. I mean, it is Julie Andrews, so of course it is. There's obviously a lot of heartbreak in these because, I mean, it's her entire life in these books. As I said, you know, you've got a breakdown of one relationship, you've got in this book, she talks about Blake Edwards' hypochondria and how ill he was while they were together. And obviously at the end of this book, he's still alive. He only died a few years ago, I think. I really, really enjoyed reading these biographies. These are going in my middle shelf on my bookcase. Yeah, my middle shelf is dedicated to books that I've read, loved, probably won't read again but cannot get rid of. So that's where these ones are going. I admit I did read another book before I started reading these, but the nature of it is a screenplay and I wanted to watch the film as well, which I haven't yet. So hopefully I'll be able to watch the film at some point and then I can do a comparison between the screenplay that I read and the film. And then I started another book yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before, because I finished this in one day. Because I finished this book, started reading the first chapter of another book, and then all of yesterday was reading it. It was about 600-ish pages, and I read it in about 24 hours. Yes, I read it in about 24 hours. It was ridiculous. It's the Julie Andrews Home and Homework. Great for biography lovers, Julie Andrews lovers, theatre lovers, history lovers. There's definitely a bit of everything for everybody in both these books. But yeah, and then obviously, because it's biography, the pictures. I mean, whenever I pick up a biography, I always look at the pictures first, then I read, get to the point where the pictures are, have another look at them. Yeah, it's just, reading a biography is so much fun to me. Yeah, so it's Julie Andrews, Home and Homework. Thank you so much for watching this channel. Apologies for the change of camera in the middle. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Debbie. That was me talking about the Julie Andrews biography books. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you next week for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah! Stay safe.